Aloha kakayaka means good morning to you. Happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful mothers out there. Whether you are a human mommy or you are a doggy mommy, a daddy mommy, all the mummies out there. That's why I always go, Mama, to my little dog Heaven, because she was like that. You look at her, she was just, her energy was just like a energy. Everybody would look at me like, what? And laugh at me. Because moms has this unique force of energy that gives life. You know, of course, we need the male to help us bring that into thyself to create life. And so while we work on our intentions that's coming up for the new moon this week, next week, Tuesday, well, this week already, on the 11th, start to write your intention on what you really want to do. And I've been repeating that is because we're going to get Mercury retrograde coming up right after the full moon, because the full moon is on May 26th. Right after that, after the 3 days, Mercury retrograde coming in on May 29th. All the way till June 22nd. And so Mercury retrograde is a time when we need to kind of have patience, because anything to do with communication may slow down, break down, may not be exactly on a right roll, you know. So give it some time. I usually say don't sign contracts during this time. Expect things to kind of break down or slow you down, you know. And so, especially now with the high technology where everything is all with computers, printers, this and that. So those are kind of things that we need to really be careful, because now we are coming into the new moon. And right after that, you know, we have to get into the full moon. So for me, I already start ahead of time, you know, because the way I do it for the past, I don't know how many years, it has taken me to where I finally really understand and how to connect myself with the rhythm of this thing called Earth. And so May is, like we all say, because when the full moon comes, it's going to be known as the flower moon. And so I'm literally preparing myself, and I finally found a new apron. It's hard to find aprons nowadays, especially one with deep pockets. Like this one. This one has 3 deep pockets, so maybe I should make my own kakajur aprons. But anyways, there's a lot of things that gonna set this tone for this new moon. And so we need to make sure how we're gonna start to set ourselves, because you don't want to put too much on your plate, because you're gonna what? Burn yourself, and it's gonna be sizzling and making you get anxiety, stressed out. And so, you know, I didn't even, for example, my website is still being worked on. Am I gonna push it? I've already gave what my intentions and what I want to do, but the rest is, you know, I have to create my time, her time to go forward with that motion. But I can't let somebody whose communication may have been blocked. I don't know, you know. And so When we tend to ignore things, guess what? The problems becomes bigger because you are only ignoring what's in front of you. But you're missing out on the bigger picture of what it's supposed to be in life. And so it can be anything. And so when you start to tend to ignore, to not do things and procrastinate, it's either gonna go really nowhere. And more so, more we procrastinate, more it goes back into our memories and becomes memories. And instead of bringing that to the forefront, even though you hate washing the dishes or folding the laundry or hate making the bed, it all comes through discipline. And so when we work and say, I'm gonna go and do this change, you need to be prepared, because how I do it is how I got taught to do. I mean, I had at one point where I was told to eat shit and die. And I was pissed. I was so angry and said, how can that person say that to me? Because we were in a heated argument about some stuff, some issues. Because for me, I get real in because I put my whole heart into it. Because I don't want to procrastinate. I want to get it done. I want to go forward. I don't want to linger. Because once you linger, it becomes stagnant. Then it becomes like a swamp, floating. You know, and it creates things, these molds, it creates this smell, it creates this bacteria, it creates all these negative things. And so, and if we do that, guess what? That's what we're putting back into ourselves, this toxic. Because we procrastinate in doing things when we could have done it now and go forward. And so those are the kind of things that we have to self-discipline us, no matter what. I self-discipline myself and say, I gotta meditate. And now I look forward. I look forward for meditation time. I'm like, oh, okay, I get up now earlier in the morning. Because that's how much excited I am to feel this feeling when you do it. And so that's another thing that I literally have people, because I'm getting rid of things. I had this man who came over to pick up the bed, and then, you know, I just saw this thing, and then so I talked to him, and, you know, I gave him some breathing exercise because he has asthma problem, and that's why he needed to get the bed, and, you know, and I told him what's going on, and I showed him how to do it, and then he goes, well, I noticed that you do these kind of things. Can I ask you a question? And I said, sure. He goes, well, thank you for teaching me some of these breathing exercises and what to do. And I said, well, usually asthma, and I had a whole little mini lecture with him. And so he asked me that he does meditation. And big Hawaiian brother. I mean, like, close to like maybe 350 pound, big guy. And so I said, what's going on? And he said, I come to this point, and I said, tell me the colors, tell me what you see, what makes you stuck, and from there we can examine it. And so I'm gonna be, I'm already, this is one of the things that I have is people have been asking me, can you teach me how to meditate? And that's part of my 30-day challenge that I put in, which is how to center, align. Is like, remember I said your body is really a vehicle that needs to get tuned up. And so because of my website not being up and I can't put everything on videos and stuff like that, I custom made these one-on-one workshops that's already, that's flying out the door. And I probably, for the spring one, I'm probably gonna close the session pretty soon, and looking to do, sign up for the summer session. And so I don't want too much on my plate, because that's like a whole bunch of different energy that I need to work on. And so, when I say that I need my boundary, I can't just have people walk in doing this and doing that because, hey, they have the rights because they think they can walk through my door. This is my sanctuary. And as we all know, we all had to work from home. And I choose my business because homeopathic starts from home. And these are the tools I'm going to give you to do all of these lessons, practice, and how to bring all of these information tools with you for your everyday life. We always had it. We just didn't know how to use it. Why? Because humans are a creature of bad habits. And so going back to when I was told to go eat shit and die, I knew that I was taking in too much toxic. And when you do that, taking too much toxin, meaning that things, environment, it doesn't matter. People think, oh, okay, but we all learn through, all of this that they can be somebody in suits, working at big, huge law firms, or in government, or in big high-tech corporate, whether they're corporate America or corporate whatever. It's all over. Commodity of life has changed from before. It started from the ground up. Using your hard-working energy, your hands, your feet, your body. Now it's just a click of a button to become rich. Click of the phone to do things. And so this is where, things are really, really going to change, because we've already had a good readout in 2020. And so, not only our surroundings is going to change quite a bit in this next, because believe it or not, after May is June. Half of the year of 2021 is going to be over. And so we need to really start to set our tone. And if we don't, we may be lost in the shuffle in the next 20 years, because it's going to go really quick, especially with all these high-tech 5Gs, as we've seen how much social media can take an impact, good and bad. It's not a time to this or that. It's a time to use what's there. Take the good, and this is really interesting because I was before very, very conscious and look at really only the bad. And by doing that, I got exhausted. I will only say, oh, this and 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 this. Instead, I was told in the last 6-7 years to focus on picking up the fine tune only. Picking up the 26 good points of that person, like the alphabet. A to Z. Pick up those 26 notes of good things that you see in that person. And believe in that 26 things of goodness in them. Because we can, like I just said, humans are a creature of bad habits. And if we only focus on their only bad habits or their negative points and talk bad about them, or only focus and talk, and assume, and it goes nowhere, because then that's how you develop all this bad energy, this bad karma, this bad, not healthy surrounding. And so by switching your mindset and thinking much more positive on the good notes, guess what? The frequency and the vibration level will go up, right? When you listen to a classic music, Beethoven, da 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 da, right? Or when you listen to Chopin, which is a more mystical, more uplifting. And so, which is good, which is bad? They're both beautiful, elegant, classical music, classical notes. And so when a composer composes, do you think they use the whole entire keyboard on the piano? And so I remember when I was little, I had to go to Tralala, Yamaha, and Aina Haina with my mom catching the bus. And, back in the days, we didn't have a piano. So I didn't really have time to practice. But I was able to memorize the keyboard, so when I go there for my lessons at Yamaha, I will be able to play. And then one day, and to this day, my parents got us a piano, and it's still there at our house. And so, these kind of lessons that we learn in our life helps us identify and using our sensory, right? Sensory of the keyboard. You can be blind and still play beautiful music. You can be deaf and still play beautiful music. And so sensories of ourself needs to be what? Fine-tuned. And so when we say we're going to work out, great. You can work out on the treadmill, doing weights, doing that, the external side. But if your internal side is still filled with toxic, then it's not going to have the right combination. And it's just going to go back into a spiral downhill. You can have the most fantastic body outside, but how is it inside? And if you have both, God bless, you are honoring your body. you are honoring your soul. It doesn't matter how fat you are, or how skinny you are, or how chubby you are, or how little bit of bony you are. It doesn't matter. It's how you feel comfortable in your skin. And if you know that you're going to have some medical problems, you need to level it up and take care of yourself. You know, the other night, I was telling my mom and my sister and my niece that for me, what is my body fat? I'm chubby. I get some weight that I need to lose. But my subconscious fat is at 17.7%, which is below, is low, which is the fat stored in your skin to your body weight. And so, and I tell them, they look at me like, what, really? And I said, yeah, because I do yoga. And all these things, yeah, I get some belly fat and I get some, you know, but the inside, where it's getting stored, these fat, is getting squeezed upon with what? Me moving, that mechanism for that 90 minutes to refresh myself, to detox and feel good. And so I'm not saying everybody got to do Bikram hot yoga. I'm saying is that you need to start to learn how to detox from the inside out. And you know, the thing is, I love about it is that when you look at the thing, is thermal heat is part of the top 5 things that it's good to do, which is go into a sauna, doing yoga. So instead, I do both at one time. And doing stretch. That's 3 things. You're stretching your whole entire body to open up, to breathe new air, and bring in new circulation. You need blood circulation and all these mechanisms to have your vehicle in full force to walk and talk and enjoy life. And so all of these things, we can't keep on procrastinating. We need to start to go back and educate ourselves and write it down. Simple things. And I've been saying it, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more of all these contents of tips and things that just come out of the blues in my head that I make videos about. Because for me is, I feel good. I feel good in doing that. It makes my heart and my soul saparisuruno. It feels like I just get refreshed, like I just squeezed a lemon or a lime in my body. Because that way I feel what I'm going through, what I learned that makes me feel good, maybe can help you feel good too. So you take care, because I can go on, and I gotta go out there, and my Mother's Day gift for myself is helping Mother Nature. Helping Mother Nature and people to understand life on this good earth. And that we're blessed and that we're grateful, and to give love and feel the Aloha spirit. You take care and have a wonderful Mother's Day. Aloha.